Jack Burton, and Carolina has a touchdown on
They're
a
like,
pick
oh, well, we need
six.
real players. Oh, okay. So, you need a quarterback? Sure.
Another opportunity, spins out of a sack, throws it to the back of the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown, New Orleans. He's
Up to
gone.
the 30. He's gone, baby. My goodness. Somebody cool off that man's feet because they're on fire.
This is going to explode big time.
The SFL Network on Twitch welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live from St. Louis, Missouri, Budweiser Stadium is the backdrop for today's Week 11 matchup between the San Francisco Sharks and the St. Louis Gladiators. Andy Hamilton along with Eddie Gage joining you here today. Eddie, quite the game between these two teams we're looking forward to.
Absolutely. St. Louis is looking to issue out a little bit of payback after the blowout loss they suffered earlier this season to this same team, 43-0. Let them do it. We'll see.
In terms of metrics, these two teams have plenty to improve on heading through this season. Their head-to-head is San Francisco on top of St. Louis, 2 wins to none, but the Gladiators at home are going to try and turn that around. They have the defense to do it, the 18th best defense in the SFL. Plenty of stars on that defensive side of the ball. And they're going to be taking on a San Francisco team which is chock full of stars in the passing game. Angus McLean, the best rookie quarterback of the class so far statistically. And on the opposite side of him, Noah Johns, who is another rookie quarterback. Eddie, between these two quarterback play, what do you think the key is for them in terms of trying to come out on top in this one?
As you stated, St. Louis with their 18th ranked defense, they have some playmakers in that secondary, to include their strong safety Ethan Kai. Turnovers may be the difference.
And I would counter that and add to it that I think the run game will also be important for these two teams. San Francisco, a league worst 37 yards per game on the ground. They have Seren Storm, who is going to try and add to that run game, a Week 10 signing. Diesel Dawson on the other side of the ball has struggled to get going for the St. Louis Gladiators. They can get him going, and that could affect today's game. The ball is off, and we are underway with the Sharks starting out with the football. Gabriel Manning will return it out to the 31. What a better time to bring up this offensive unit. McLean obviously leads the charge. Seren Storm is the halfback. Gabriel Manning and Matt Burnham, 2 of the league's best receivers and one of the league's best 3 receiving cores in San Francisco here. They also have James Manzi and L.J. Smith at tight end. Out of the top 10 receivers in the league, Eddie, San Francisco is one of 3 teams with 2 receivers in that top 10, but they start with a Seren Storm handoff for 7.
Yeah, San Francisco invested a lot of money in their receivers, Gabriel Manning and Burnham. Going to have to key in on them and keep safeties over the top to limit this offense.
On paper, Manning is the more talented of the 2 receivers, but Matt Burnham actually leads the league in receiving yards coming into this week. First throw for McLean is off target and incomplete. Was trying to hit Burnham there. Looks like he led him a bit too far.
A bit too far, and the corner there did a great job of keeping the receiver in front of him, not allowing him to cross his face, making that a more difficult throw.
On the Gladiators side, 2 defensive linemen highlight this group. Moore Rivers, the first overall pick in the SFL rookie draft last season, and then 5 defensive backs on the field along with 2 linebackers. The handoff to Seren Storm is good for a first down to the 43, and I talked about it earlier a little bit, Eddie, but whichever team can kind of cement a run game early in this contest will have a distinct advantage of a second tier of offense.
Absolutely. Game is coming out, moving the ball downfield via the run game.
It'll be 1st and 10. New set of downs here for McLean, who will give to Storm, and Storm is dropped right up the middle of the field. J.J. Tiger came in and made the play.
Perfect time for a run blitz. They dialed it up They brought him in right at the snap of the ball. Perfect timing. Time the snap count. Was there. 2nd and long.
First drive continues for the Sharks. Tight end there spread off the line. Smith, and they will throw. McLean, deep drop, has protection, and it completes on the outside, caught by Matt Burnham to the 43, and he continues to add yards to a stellar year.
That's a long developing play. Takes a bit of time for him to get downfield and get that ball out. His offensive line gave him a help there that he needed to get that pass off.
And that offensive line will have their hands full with Shane Masters at defensive tackle and Moore Rivers at defensive end, along with William McDutch III and J.J. Tiger, the linebackers here for the Gladiators. McLean, deep drop again, wants a deep ball, and is, incomplete, in and out of the hands of the receiver. Trying to bring it in on the outs, or in the middle of the field was L.J. Smith, and Smith had it for a second, but not as he fell.
J. Smith ran a seam route, otherwise known as a 9 route. It looked like he had a completion there on a long game, but the safety popped him just as he caught the ball.
3 wide receivers spread out, storm the lone back in the backfield. McLean throwing on 2nd and 10, has Gabriel Manning on the outside for 5.
3rd and 5, 3rd and manageable. Here and get these home fans excited if they can manage to find a way to get San Francisco off the field here. Can they do it?
Long opening drive for the San Francisco Sharks, still their first drive of today's contest and the first drive overall of today's contest. They have meticulously worked their way down the field. McLean throwing, that one is incomplete, trying to hit the slant route but could not quite find James Manzi.
The first time in this game, St. Louis comes out in a 3-2 look zone and basically cap off everything underneath. Able to get San Francisco off the field here. San Francisco.
In the last game these two teams played, a 43-0 win for the San Francisco Sharks. It was Angus McLean who led the way as that punt goes out of bounds at the 8. Great punt there from the San Francisco punter Robert Temps. In the last game, Eddie, between these two teams, a 43-0 win for the Sharks. It was 29 of 39 for McLean with 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. One of the 3 wins on Angus McLean's slate this season.
43-0 win. St. Louis is able to get their defense off the field. I call that a win.
Noah Johns will give to Dawson on first down. Dawson is met immediately up the middle of the field, and it's Chad Guy, one of the best linebackers in the SFL.
Absolutely, he came free. The tackle tried to pick him up. He whiffed on the play, leaving no one to stop him from making that tackle.
Noah Johns, an early draft pick for the St. Louis Gladiators, pick 15. They will give to Dawson again. Dawson wrestled backwards, is going to lose 2 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 12. Definitely a passing situation here.
Passing situation, absolutely, but they need to be careful. 3rd and long, deep in your own end. Stakes here. No need to force it. If you have to, just take it down, check it down, get the yardage you can get. Room.
Split backs here for Johns. Deep drop, gonna stand at his goal line, floats one, and that one is incomplete. Was trying to hit the receiver on the outside, Badir Ajlani, but could not quite drop the egg in the basket, and Camden Hoffman makes the play.
Yeah, San Francisco came out there and man defense. And they was able to put the clamps down there. St. Louis is punting. And it's right back onto this field.
Ever dangerous return man Gabriel Manning is back to try and return the kick. Punting from his own end zone. Northrop will kick it, and here is Manning with a good return out inside the 30 to the 28. Great field position for San Francisco, Eddie. It doesn't get much better than that.
It doesn't. St. Louis, and with that terrible field position, was unable to move the chains. And now San Francisco is in a great position here to put points on the board. They're already in field goal range.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 28, 7.5 to go. They give up the middle, and Storm will pick up a yard. They obviously have dedicated some effort into getting him involved early, but he meets more Rivers right up the middle of the field.
Second time in a row for St. Louis to come out on a run blitz in his 3-2 look. Held him to 0 yards.
Two receivers split out. They give to Storm again. He will pick up another yard and make it 3rd and 8. That time he met the other defensive lineman for St. Louis, Shane Masters.
Absolutely. San Francisco, they're shocking me a bit here with all of these run attempts. Their receivers involved in this passing game. 3rd and 9. That's likely to happen here.
Trying to push some balance here early in this contest. Bunch formation to the bottom of the screen. McLean will look to throw. Protected well. Fires outside. Nearly picked off, and that would have been 6 had they been able to get their hands on it. Freeman Peltier doesn't drop many, but he couldn't get that one corralled.
I believe that was a cover 3 weak situation. His responsibility is the flat. He read it perfectly. As soon as that quarterback's back foot hit the ground, he jumped out of his break there and almost got a pick 6 there. He did everything but catch that ball.
So a 43-yard field goal attempt for Chris Long. Long is on. Winston will hold. The kick is on the way, and it is no good. He pushed it right.
San Francisco came out and started this drive already in field goal position and walks away with 0 points.
And good job by the St. Louis defense. They gave up only 2 yards on that last drive despite the great field position, and now they set their offense up with pretty good field position starting at their own 33.
Going to set a tone with this heavy set.
Johns looking to throw. Will flip it out to Dawson on the right-hand side. Dawson through 1 tackle. Stop and go. Dawson will pick up 9. What a run after the catch from Diesel Dawson.
Just as impressive was the effort his right tackle made getting out there inside the hash marks and got out to the numbers.
2nd and inches, a playmaker's dream. 4-3 look out of the Sharks. They will give to Dawson up the middle. Dawson with room has the 1st down and more out to the 49. Diesel Dawson moves the chains.
Moves the chains. His center and both guards got good blocks. In fact, the center actually pushed his man and to the side almost, and basically it was a that you could have pivoted that 1st down, Andy.
And that's saying quite a bit because I can't run very fast. Dawson, a week 3 signing for the St. Louis Gladiators. They will give him the ball again. Feeding Diesel Dawson. And Dawson finds the room up the middle to pick up another 1st down. Eddie, I know they had targeted Dawson earlier in the rookie draft. Could not quite get their hands on him. But now he found his way to them in undrafted free agency and is doing his part.
Free safety just saved a touchdown. He was the last man to beat. If he gets past him, he's still running.
Throwing again, now out to Dawson. Dawson with the blocker will try and shake one. Doesn't get through the 1st tackle. A 5-yard pickup for Diesel Dawson.
This time it was the left guard who got outside the numbers there. St. Louis O-line. They must have been running some shuttle drills. They're getting out there in a hurry.
Conditioning important on a warm day like today here in St. Louis. 4:28 to go in the first, still no score. Johns trying to change that, and he fires all the way down to the 5-yard line. One of the biggest plays of the day so far, and it's Nick Finch who hauls it in at the 5.
Yeah, they caught San Francisco there in a single safety high look. He took off to his left. A receiver ran by him to his right. He never saw him. I'm not sure there was a blown coverage on his part or what have you, but he left his linebacker out there on an island. He had the ability to cover him that deep down the field.
Dawson on first down will lose 2 yards, and that's not the direction you want to be going this close to the end zone.
Yeah, this close to the end zone, you want to finish the drive off with 6 points. The confidence to be able to compete with this high scoring facing in San Francisco.
Shotgun look here, 4 receivers, 3 in a bunch formation to the bottom of the screen. Johns to throw, pressured now, hit as he threw, floats it off his back foot. Oh, they're going to rule him out of bounds. It was a circus throw and catch, but they're going to call it incomplete based off the pressure coming from Terrell Farley, and I think that's worth a second look, and St. Louis does too.
That's going to stand. It's going to be ruled as a touchdown. They're going to overrule that play. First of all, how he got that pass off, I have no idea. He was hit as he threw, still had enough mustard and arm strength to get the pass off, and indeed, he slid down. His hips were on the ground. Inbounds. That's going to be a touchdown, St. Louis.
Oh, man, those hips don't lie, Eddie. That's definitely a touchdown. Let's hope that Ref 62 sees it the same way, and let's take a look here. That is going to be overturned. A completion will charge the first touchdown for the St. Louis Gladiators. They will take a 6-0 lead. What a throw, Eddie.
What a throw. This home crowd is energized. They can sense that first win. Can they do it? Can they stave off this high-powered offense of San Francisco, put points on the board, started the game off just fine? It's going to be an entertaining contest throughout.
Noah Johns has struggled early in his career, but is able to throw an early touchdown to give St. Louis the 7-0 lead over the San Francisco Sharks. And Eddie, that's really big for them, considering that last time they weren't able to score once.
Yeah, as you stated earlier, a shutout. They allowed a 40 burger, as some QBs call it. Point. Here on their second drive, they're able to get a touchdown here. Can they keep this momentum going?
Return here from Manning will come out across the right side to the 29, and that is going to be a first down there for St. Louis. And Eddie, on the other side of the ball, a great touchdown from Noah Reed, but let's talk about the catch as well. A wonderful catch by Reed Mitchell, the Week 10 signing, a rookie, making his first touchdown grab.
From couch to field, as everyone in the SFL likes to say.
Throwing here. Oh, no, dropped in the backfield. St. Louis brought the pressure. He was trying to check it down to Storm, but Shane Masters got there in a hurry and bull rushed the quarterback.
St. Louis only brought 4. But when you have guys like Shane Masters in the back on your defensive line, he just barely got his back foot planted and was already introduced to the turf.
Second and 17. 4 receivers split out here for the 4-6 San Francisco Sharks with 2:50 to go in the first. McLean throwing, caught, nice throw and catch, picks up 13.
St. Louis was showing blitz. They backed out of it. However, he did not have the foot speed to get back to his assigned zone. Completion for San Francisco, 3rd and 4.
Gladiators up 7-0 here early in this contest. San Francisco trying to keep their drive alive. McLean floats and throws to the opposite side, which is caught on the sidelines. Great grab over there right in front of head coach Freddie Pollard. The grab is made by Aaron Razor, the number 2 tight end.
I guess McLean showed some patience back there. He actually got his feet set Didn't saw what he looked, what he didn't like what he saw. Took another step back, waited for his receiver to clear the area, got it off on a dig route for a first down.
New set of downs here. McLean to throw again. Fires deep down the field. Incomplete. Well played on the defensive side of the ball by Marquise Reed, the free safety.
Thought that ball was headed for a completion as he ran a skinny post there. He was able to get his hands around the receiver. You can see him. He actually held him up a bit there. That could have been a pass interference for some ticky-tack refs like R62 there.
Seems like they're letting them play here early in this contest. Important contest for San Francisco in the playoff race. A win here would vault them to 5-6, which would definitely be in the wild card conversation. Handoff here to Saren Storm, and Storm is going to pick up 4 to the 45. It'll be 3rd and 6. St. Louis eliminated from the playoff conversation, but Eddie, every game is important, not only in terms of experience, but also in terms of legacy. For a lot of these St. Louis players, winning every week is very important to them.
No doubt about it. You don't want to have any negative plays caught on film.
McLean floats, and that is a nice catch across the middle, but an even better throw from McLean. Tom York makes the grab, but what a throw.
Easy through. Yet again, both these quarterbacks here showing great arm strength to get these passes off despite being hit while they're being knocked to the ground.
1st and 10 from the St. Louis 43. Minute and 10 to go here in this first frame of play. They find themselves down by 7. McLean fires, caught across the middle. Just getting out of the zone was Gabriel Manning. St. Louis dropped into a zone, and Manning found the weak spot.
He did, but he actually had backup wide receiver Aaron Jones wide open on a corner route with only a safety to beat, but the safety had a bad angle. That would have been a touchdown.
Two backs in the backfield, two receivers and a tight end out here for McLean. McLean moves up in the pocket, throws on the run, and that is nearly picked off. A dangerous throw by McLean, and Ethan Kai almost made him pay for it.
Second time in this drive, the quarterback was knocked off his spot. He showed patience, but I'm not sure if he just got his nerves rattled or what the case may have been, because he threw an errant throw there that could have easily gone the other way. Not many of those opportunities.
3 wide here. McLean in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. From the 29, will look to throw, has to move, throws as he's hit, incomplete. St. Louis is really bringing the pressure today, Eddie.
Yes, they are. This time they come out in a 3-3 look for the first time today. Got pressure with those 3 linemen and was able to a half second before he anticipated on doing so. Coming up.
3rd and 10. Gladiators trying to get off the field. 28 seconds to go. No backs in the backfield for McLean. Definitely a passing formation. McLean to throw. Moves in the pocket. Floats one to the back corner, and it's incomplete. Defended by Drew Reilly, and Reilly almost got his hands on it.
St. Louis comes out in a 3-2 quarters coverage and almost walked away with a pick. I didn't see anyone open downfield. He tried to force it, and St. Louis almost got that what would have been their second interception had they held on to both those opportunities. One drop by Ethan and one other one here.
Long is back out on the field. 0 for 1 today. Missed from a similar range. Now is a few yards back and going to try it again for redemption. Chris Long boots it, and it is good from 45 yards. San Francisco's on the board, 3-7.
San Francisco has finally cracked the scoreboard. However, last contest, holding San Francisco to 3 points with only 19 seconds left in the first quarter has got to be looked at as a win for this St. Louis defense.
I would agree, and I think with the St. Louis defense that it would seem today, Eddie, like they are almost only just 1 interception away from really turning momentum in their favor.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Ethan Kai, he doesn't drop many interceptions. I believe he had 10 last season, And as a strong safety, that's astronomical.
Return out to the 29. PMC_Flurry asks, is this live or have they taped this? Well, it's 100% live. Game is going on as we speak, and Eddie and I are also live people calling the game, as well as a lot of the players on the field are represented by live people who are all watching within the chat. We appreciate you all for being here. First and 10 for the 29. 14 seconds left here in the first quarter. Noah Johns pressured, has to move, and now it's going to go down. San Francisco brought the heat, and Chris Leone was the first one there.
We'll call that one a coverage sack there. St. Louis left their tight end to protect receiver to go downfield. No one was open. Quarterback should have thrown that one away.
That will take us to the end of the first quarter. We'll switch ends of the field here at Budweiser Stadium and be right back after a short break. 7-3, St. Louis on top of the San Francisco Sharks. Today's Simulation Football League broadcast on Twitch is brought to you by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. By Fuel, Beyond the Imagination. You can visit the all-new SFL Interactive today. By Matt Doyle Designs, official branding partner of the Simulation Football League. By MediaTek Institute, turn your passion into your profession. Aerial shots today provided to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com for more drone footage as we look over St. Louis, Missouri. And now we look back to Budweiser Stadium, 7-3. The Gladiators on top of the Sharks, but Noah Johns in this offense facing 3rd and 13. 10.5 to go here in the second. Firing deep down the field, and that one is caught. Big throw and catch. What a grab by Badir Ajlani, and it's a first down for the Glads.
I'm not sure how he came down with that catch. The only thing I can imagine, St. Louis was facing a cover 3 defense there. The corner is basically looking outside the numbers, trying to keep everything from getting outside of them. Lost coverage onto the inside. He threw that ball high and inside, which allowed his receiver the opportunity to make that play.
A fresh set of downs for the St. Louis Gladiators. 3 in the backfield here along with Johns under center. Handoff to Dawson will get 2 yards up the middle.
St. Louis, known as a baseball town, today is looking to get their first win and slowly begin to convert these fans over.
Three receivers in the back, or running backs in the backfield, excuse me, Eddie. And they will throw, though. Johns pressured and dropped. I think he was trying to go to Dawson on the outside, but the pressure was too quick, and Chris Leone got to him again, his second sack of the day.
San Francisco came with a TE stunt, known as a tackle in stunt. I mean, with a 3-man rush and got that sack.
4 receivers split out here, 3rd and 14. They just converted a 3rd and 13. Johns will try and throw for it again. This time protected well. Pressure coming. Floats to a wide open receiver. What a throw to Reed Mitchell. He had his first touchdown earlier, and he's got a big first down conversion there.
Once again, San Francisco comes out in a 3-2 look. This time, they brought the wheelbacker on a blitz, bringing 4. The offensive line did a great job picking them all up, allowing his receiver time to get downfield, break to the outside, and get that all-important first down.
PMC Flurry in the chat, one of our newest people who have joined and found us. Welcome. We are glad to have you here. This throw almost picked off by one hand. One attempt there from Sim Franco Jr. Johns was trying to hit Badir Ajlani.
I thought that was going to be picked off. The linebacker did a great job getting out there in coverage. I'm not sure the quarterback even saw him.
2nd and 10 from the 33, trying to get into field goal range. This offense, lots of weapons, including Cody Scott, a tight end, yet to call his name today. Dawson with some room and some blockers will get out a 9-yard pickup to the 24. Some of these Dawson runs have looked good today, Eddie.
He actually got a great block from his tight end as well as his left tackle there. I thought he could have got a first down if he had stayed to the outside. 9-yard run nonetheless. 3rd and 1. Can they pick up this first down?
Hand off Dawson. Dawson has the first down and more out to the 17. Strong run from Diesel Dawson. He has looked good today.
Move the chains. The defense is out there well rested for St. Louis. They're trying to give him a bit more rest here and complete this drive with a touchdown. Can they pull off the upset here today? It's a long way to go.
Noah Johns has looked good. 103 yards passing so far here through this first quarter of play. Looking to throw again here. Pressured. Has to float off his back foot. Caught on the sideline. What a throw and catch. Somehow hauled in by Ajlani.
St. Louis is coming out here with a ton of intermediate routes today. Their offensive line has been doing a great job all afternoon, only giving up a couple of sacks here and there. First down, St. Louis on yet another downfield that their offensive line is giving them time to throw.
Johns last week was 37 of 47 for 292 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Today has 1 touchdown, no picks. And now Diesel Dawson has his 3rd touchdown of the season with a good run off the right tackle.
San Francisco had everyone lined up, looking in the A gap. And pinched down inside. No one was there to stop him from going outside to the C gap. Touchdown, St. Louis. 13-3 lead.
Diesel Dawson scored last week, scored 2 weeks ago against Las Vegas, and now is in the end zone for his 3rd career rushing touchdown, and now 2 in 2 games, Eddie. He is starting to get moving here late in this season.
Yes, he is. St. Louis has some tough losses this season. Today, get a W and fans to celebrate walking home with a win. Do it.
And potentially something to build on, all of these skills, and that's the greatest thing about the progression in the SFL is as you get to build up your player week over week and become a better player, your team and your player gets better by the end of the season, and that can all be carried over into next season if your team so chooses. So with Diesel Dawson picking up some valuable information and some valuable skills throughout all the practices that St. Louis has had this season, he can definitely convert those over for next season.
3 kickoff return attempts here by Gabriel Manning. 3 times down on the ground inside the 25. Great work here today.
1st and 10 from the 28. Here is McLean to throw. Short jump off. Lost his man. Nice catch and run there for 9 by LJ Smith. Looks like the defender came up, didn't think it was going to go to Smith, and Smith found himself with some room in front of him.
Yeah, San Francisco ran a crossing route there. He got hemmed up in traffic, leaving the receiver wide open.
St. Louis giving up 31.7 points per game coming into today's contest. Today they have only given up 3. Handoff here to Storm is going to be short of the line to gain. Good tackle there by the Gladiators. Defense, Eddie, last time they gave up 43 against this Sharks team. Today, a lot more clamped down here in this first half.
3 points surrendered thus far with 6 minutes to go in a half. St. Louis looking good on defense today.
And off Storm again, this time enough for the first down and a little bit more, out to the 43 with 6:02 and 1 to go in the second as time continues to roll. Seren Storm has been trying to get it done for a San Francisco team that has almost abandoned the run for most of the season.
Yeah, but he showed a little bit of wiggle there, getting past the would-be tackler there and getting a couple more yards. Let's go.
And important for the Sharks, if they're going to make a playoff run here, having a balanced offense could go a long way to, not only help them get to where they need to go offensively, but also to, throw off some of the defenses that they might be facing. A lot of good top-tier defenses on the top of the SFL standings, and if you're San Francisco and you want to be part of that conversation, you have to have some of both run and pass game.
Absolutely.
4 receivers split out. They give to Storm again. Storm a little shake and bake, and probably shouldn't have shake and baked and should have ran right up the middle.
Yeah. St. Louis had a defensive tackle, only got in the area, but he was getting doubled at the line. He should have just took that up the A gap. He would have got at least 3 yards out of that.
There is such a thing as doing too much, and that might have been the definition right there. 5 receivers split out here for McLean from the 45. High snap, going to stand in the pocket, floats one, tipped and incomplete, and laying the hit on the back end was Ethan Kai. What a smack.
Pressure breaks pipes. Out that extra time he would have liked to get that ball downfield. Ethan Kai has been lurking in that backfield all game thus far. A pick added to his resume.
Kai, one of the sneaky safeties in the SFL, only in his 3rd year, but has quite a few stats to go along with his impressive career so far. All of them have been spent here in St. Louis, a longtime Gladiator. The fans love him, and he has been doing his thing for the Gladiators for seasons.
Went to the Pro Bowl last year with what I believe was a league-leading 10 interceptions.
First and 10 here. Gladiators offense back out, 4:27 to work with. All 3 timeouts for St. Louis. No rush. You can run your full offense here, which is great for them as they have the opportunity to go down and add more points to their lead. They are currently up 11. Noah Johns to throw. Out route here, caught underneath with little to no defensive pressure. They just gave Kevin Flynn that catch for 9.
Yeah, the corners, both of them were bailing on that play. As you can see, he was already turning his hips and looking to defend the ball downfield. Wide open.
Second
and short
inches.
coming up.
This is your chance if you're a coordinator to maybe take a deep shot. You think you could get the third down conversion. Instead, they go to Dawson, and Dawson rips off a big run to the 48. Eddie, he has looked like a different man today.
He has. San Francisco showing blitz, leaving no one to tackle him until he got to the 3rd level. They made a solid open field tackle there. Otherwise, he was one spin move away from making that a foot race to the end zone.
First and 10 from the 48. 3 receivers split out. John's in the shotgun, excuse me. He will throw, and a post route has the first down to the 37. Nice throw and catch by Badir Ajlani. I tell you what, Noah Johns today has also looked spectacular through the first half.
Yes, he's showing some patience here, taking what the defense gave him. Once again, the outside corners were bailing, giving up nothing deep. He just took what was open for him in the middle of the field. St. Louis.
Badir Ajlani has played on 3 Simulation Football League teams. Houston, Cleveland, when they were a franchise, now here in St. Louis, and today he has been doing his part at Budweiser Stadium. Johns to throw, pressured, floats one, tipped up and incomplete. Was trying to get it down the field to Nick Finch, but it was defended well, and a floater won't work on first down.
And the defensive tackle got through there clean. Has been miscommunication there because he was at the quarterback's feet. Ball didn't give him time to even look for a second read.
Three back in the backfield, power formation with 3:05 left to go in the second. They give to Dawson again, and Diesel Dawson trucks his way forward for 10.
St. Louis being opposed by a 3-4 defense imposed their will. Once again, not touched until he gets to the second level. If St. Louis can keep up this tempo and get their running game going, it's going to open up playbook for their offense.
Three receivers split out. New set of downs here with 2:38 left to go. Johns in the shotgun. They have liked this formation today, and it has worked well. Johns pressured now and throws that one away. Eddie, that is a great throw from Noah Johns as a rookie. It wasn't there, and he just threw it away.
Absolutely. He gets outside the pocket to avoid the penalty. And as you said, no one was open on this play and living for another down.
And that's something that comes with experience. I think the one thing that we put away with these two rookie quarterbacks, McLean and Noah Johns, is that, you know, they don't have the experience of a veteran. They need some of those situations. They need to learn and grow, and that's something that we've seen Johns do today. Diesel Dawson, also someone who's been growing and showing that he is a huge threat for this St. Louis offense if they can get him going early. 5.9 yards per carry today.
5 yards a carry. The left guard, they ran a trap there off tackle, and his left guard showed some sneaky quickness there, getting to the center, and he was almost about to break away and look for a linebacker to tackle. That was a great play design there to attack this defense.
15 yards between St. Louis and the end zone. They'll flip it out to Diesel Dawson, and Dawson gets cut down. First block missed, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 14-3, St. Louis on top of the Sharks at home and threatening to add to that lead with 2 minutes to go here in the first half. It's the Simulation Football League on Twitch. Andy Hamilton along with Eddie Gage here at Budweiser Stadium. 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. St. Louis up by 11 on the San Francisco Sharks. Three backs in the backfield. They give to Dawson, and Dawson will power his way forward to the 9. It's a 6-yard carry.
This situation, if I'm San Francisco, I'm calling a timeout to give my offense time in case they're able to stop them here on third down.
Four receivers split out for Noah Johns in the shotgun. Johns to throw, floats one to Cody Scott. Scott's first catch is good for a touchdown. What a grab by the tight end, and what a time to show up. He puts more points on the board for the Gladiators.
San Francisco came out in a press man look. He beats his defender right off at the line of scrimmage. 90% of the battle between a receiver and a corner, line of scrimmage. He did a great job there, faking him out his jock strap, getting inside, easy catch and throw, touchdown, St. Louis. Then upcoming with this extra point. They are looking to make a statement this afternoon.
Noah Johns, his second touchdown throw of the game. This is only the third career game for him where he has had more than one touchdown pass. He has thrown twice now, once against Oklahoma City and now once against San Francisco, and then had thrown 3 against the Las Vegas Fury in a close-fought loss. So definitely on the road for one of his best games if he can keep up this production, Eddie.
The owner of the St. Louis Gladiators is in the chat going ballistic. He can sense a W here today, but I would like to tell him it's a long way to go, and it starts with this kickoff return by Gabriel Manning.
Manning can change this game at any time. Can't get that return out to more than the 31. Saw a new user, Confused Guy, in the chat, which his name was apt because he had lots of questions. This is the Simulation Football League, the world's first controllerless esport where you can get onto the field and become a professional football player, all from the comfort of your couch. All you have to do is head over to simulationfl.net, join our Discord community, and from there you can create a player, learn all of the league's backstory, and get on the field to hashtag make an impact. McLean dropped in the backfield right away. Shane Masters came through, and that is the second sack on Angus McLean today.
Shane is looking to take all of the confidence away. This San Francisco team, they've been getting pressure in his face all afternoon here. That is showing a blitz.
Two backs in the backfield along with McLean. McLean to throw. Pressured, has to get rid of it, and that is caught for a first down. What a throw to L.J. Smith.
Thought Ethan Kyle's going to get another interception there.
Shotgun look, 3-3 from the Gladiators. They bring forward, checks it down to Gabriel Manning, who is down to the 45. San Francisco takes a timeout. That sack, Eddie, critically important. San Francisco and Angus McLean are 0-2 when they let up more than one sack. They let up 3 to London, 3 to Chicago in early games in Angus McLean's career. His first 2 career games, lost both of those games, have yet to give up more than one sack in any game since then until today. McLean to throw on 2nd and 7, dumps it out to Storm, and Storm is dropped in the backfield. 3rd and 7 now.
3rd and 7. You want to be smart with the football right here.
Looking to throw. McLean pumps. Dropped again. The 3rd sack for this St. Louis defense. 3rd sack for Shane Masters.
Shane Masters and this St. Louis front line has been living in the backfield throughout this contest.
And that will take us to the halftime break. St. Louis on top of San Francisco. The underdog is on top, 21-3 over the Sharks. Eddie, your thoughts on the first half and how the San Francisco Gladiators played?
Every game is won and lost and defensive lines. Today, St. Louis has gone on to even further prove that fact of San Francisco's quarterback, Angus McLean, all game long. And the time he needed to look for 2nd and 3rd receivers because he's been under so much pressure. Continue as the defense begins to wear down. Can pick up a run game that they've been so successful with today and give that defense that much needed rest to continue to come out here and put pressure in his face. It's not over, folks. But if St. Louis can continue to do what they've done thus far today, here.
Diesel Dawson, 76 yards on the ground today. That's a good number for him so far. Actually, his 2nd best rushing performance of his career. That Las Vegas game where the St. Louis Gladiators played the Fury so close, losing just 31-28. He had 89 yards and a touchdown there, has 76 and 1 touchdown today with a whole second half to go, Eddie. This team has looked like a different unit, and San Francisco has looked a little bit surprised by it.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. I don't think they were anticipating this kind of production today. I don't think they were anticipating the patience to stick with this run game from St. Louis today. St. Louis has been in the lab putting up a game plan to attack this secondary, to attack this defense, and give their quarterback time he needed. Done today, successful. These fans in their seats anticipating a win today. Can they hang on and get it?
Ball is on the tee at Budweiser Stadium. We're back in our seats. Andy Hamilton along with Eddie Gage, and the second half is underway here in St. Louis, Missouri. Gladiators get the ball first. Freeman Peltier will bring it out to the 27, and with 10:56 left to go in the 3rd, the Gladiators lead 21-3. Eddie, San Francisco started with the ball in the first half, drove right down the field, missed a field goal attempt after punting away to St. Louis and getting great field position. So now the momentum has really been all St. Louis since then.
Has. They're coming up with a press look here again.
Looking to throw. Here is Johns. Sets in the pocket and throws, and that is a completion on the outside, and the poise from Noah Johns to throw that ball. Incredible.
Poised because just what I just said at halftime. His offensive line gave him all day to throw. That's a deep out route. It takes time to get that play to develop. Yet the quarterback faced little opposition coming at him. Confidence right now, and he's showing it.
First and 10 from the 43. They move the chains on the opening drive and push this thing further down the field. 3 receivers split out, 4 down linemen for the Sharks, and a handoff to Diesel Dawson will get a couple, and they will get out to the 45. And Eddie, they've had a good mix of run and pass too, which I think is also kind of setting the San Francisco Sharks off a little bit with how little Diesel Dawson has really made an impact in terms of scoring for St. Louis. I don't think they were expecting him to play so well either.
Exactly.
Shotgun look, Johns to throw, fires quickly. Ajlani, a spin move, and he picks up another 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd and inches here from the 48.
Linebacker made the mistake there. He was going for the pick, missed it, and then allowed the receiver to get a couple extra yards. He fell 1 yard short of picking up that first down.
When I think in previous St. Louis games, you would be a little nervous to give the ball to Dawson here on 3rd and inches, but today he has been stellar, and I don't think they have any nervousness about potentially giving him the handoff. 3rd and inches, they will do so, and Diesel Dawson has the first down and more! Diesel Dawson out to the 35, what a move!
The owner for St. Louis is in his owner's box telling the team to run the ball as he's been doing a couple times throughout this game. They're listening to him. He signs the check. They're going to do whatever he asks. Not only did he pick up the first down, but then he provided them with a spin move to boot and got a few more yards out of it. Lewis.
And Diesel Dawson, a career day now, up to 90 yards rushing, the best of his career. Earlier it was 70 or 86. But that play, a flag down, Eddie. Did you see what it was?
Encroachment, defense, 5 yards, 1st and 5, St. Louis.
And that free play will keep Diesel Dawson's career day in line because otherwise they would have had to take it away. Let's go through this St. Louis offense. I can't remember if we have or not. Noah Johns, Diesel Dawson. Don Billingsley is the new Week 11 signing rookie fullback in the game, and he might have something to do with Diesel Dawson's great day. Nick Finch, Badir Ajlani, Kevin Flynn, and Reed Mitchell, the 2 rookie wide receivers to flank Finch and Ajlani, and Cody Scott, the superb tight end who played 1 year in Carolina. Handoff Dawson, a good block on the outside, and Dawson has the first down, but Billingsley doing quite a bit there on that play to stretch this defense.
You're right on cue, my friend. At the snap of the ball, he gets out there and sprints to that weak side linebacker. He kept him totally out of that play. He pushed him about 4 yards towards the sidelines, giving the running back there all kinds of room to make a cut left or right, picking up that first down.
I formation, Billingsley and Dawson in the back. They give to Dawson. Billingsley seals the block, and Dawson has another 6 yards, and he has his first career 100-yard game, Eddie. That is huge for the rookie.
He was for the rookie. He was for his confidence. He was for this offense. And yet again, right on cue, Billingsley, he's an equal opportunity blocker. That time he took on the strong side linebacker and knocked him a few yards in the backfield.
And Billingsley could be playing his way into a spot next season on somebody's roster. Johns fires, end zone, caught, touchdown St. Louis. They continue to pour the gravy on these mashed potatoes today, and it's 6 more points for the Gladiators via Badir Ajlani.
Once again, I sound like a broken record, but these intermediate routes, they continue to pour them on. That time, they ran a dig route to the opposite side of the field. The quarterback went all day to throw. Noah Johns back there is saying, if I could have had this all season, I could have been going to the Pro Bowl. That said, touchdown St. Louis. yesterday. It's all about what you're doing right now. Extra point upcoming. We're looking at a 28-3 ball game. I don't think anyone predicted this one.
Noah Johns has 3 touchdowns, which ties his career best in touchdowns with 3. But in that game, he had 2 picks, has none today. This, Eddie, I would say is the best game we've seen from Noah Johns in his career.
Absolutely. Fans are in agreement with you as well. He looks great today. He can thank his O-line. After this game, he should be taking him out for a steak dinner.
And he should be taking Billingsley out, too, because that has cemented the run game. And I would have to think that if the St. Louis Gladiators are able to seal this thing off here late in the game, Dwayne Schindler, who's in the chat going crazy, might have to take everyone out to dinner.
Yeah, including Cody, who he's thinking right now.
Well, including me. I'm coming, too. I'm hungry.
We're here. We might as well make the trip.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, too. McLean leads this San Francisco Sharks team back out, down by 25, but still plenty of time on the clock, as well as all 3 timeouts. McLean to throw, pressured, Masters gets him again, another drop for St. Louis, and McLean has just felt the pressure from this St. Louis front line all day long.
St. Louis once again comes out with a 3-2 look. They brought their wheel line back on a blitz, confused the O-line a bit. Shane Masters fought off the double team, used the rip move, gets to the quarterback, and now he's on the ground contemplating his career choices.
2nd and a country mile. McLean to throw, and he will cut into that mile a little bit. 5-yard out route to Gabriel Manning, and he has been held in check today, Eddie. 5 receptions, 38 yards.
Yeah, this is totally un-Gabriel Manning-like production here today.
And with these 2 receivers, though, I was going to mention that if anyone can come back from a score like this, San Francisco has the weapons on the outside. They just have to figure out how to get them going. Bunch formation, press coverage from St. Louis. McLean, 5-step drop, wants the deep ball, throws the deep ball, got the deep ball. Matt Burnham to the 42, and talk about getting them going. There it is.
I almost pulled a Matt Wilson and said, oh no. Jumping you while you in the middle of calling that play out. At the line of scrimmage, he beat his man clean inside, broke to the outside in the post. First down. They're lucky that wasn't 6.
When he stopped a little bit, he almost looked surprised that he had the ball in that much space, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he thought a safety was over the top, which is why he was so wide open there or not, but first down, San Francisco. If they're going to turn this around, it needs to start now.
McLean tried to hit an out route. That was no good. Trying to find Burnham again. Drew really got the best of him on that play, kind of making up for the play from before.
As a corner, you're always taught, especially deep, you have to forget about it and move on to the next play. And he did it there.
2nd and 10 from the 42. Not yet in field goal range, but they're going to want touchdowns here over field goal attempts. McLean floats one, tipped up, incomplete. Oh, in and out of the hands of L.J. Smith. That's one he's going to want back.
Was also in and out of the hands of that defender there, too. That could have been intercepted. Once again, St. Louis, they're showing a soft box, but they're bringing forward with these blitzes.
Big opportunity there for a first down that would have taken them a lot closer to field goal range. 5 receivers now, 3 in a bunch to the bottom of the formation. McLean, 5-step drop, floats one. That one nearly picked off. St. Louis flies to the ball, and it's incomplete.
Woody Haskins, the strong safety there, almost came away with that pick.
Ashley Jackson asking in the chat, what is the most points St. Louis has scored in a game this season? The highest total that St. Louis has had was 28 against the Las Vegas Fury. They have tied that number here today. And look at that, Dwayne Schindler, the team owner, right on top of it there in the chat, letting her know the exact same thing that we just said there, Eddie. So St. Louis, a career day out here, and we would be remiss to not say that Cody Scott, the tight end, taking over the offense now in his third week, running this offense for the St. Louis Gladiators, and today they have looked superb.
Cody Scott, the interim coordinator, is looking to add that and make it official come season's end.
Hand off Dawson, and that is going to go nowhere. Dawson shut down right at the line of scrimmage.
Their defensive line did a great job there keeping his outside shoulder free, giving him nowhere to go.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 20-yard line.
2nd and 10 from the 20. 5.5 to go. Johns floats one, caught on the outside. Nice first down throw by Noah Johns. Kevin Flynn, a first down grab.
St. Louis did what they call flooding the zone, coming out with 3 receivers. He left that corner. It go. He couldn't cover both the receiver running a crossing route and the other one running the out. Louis.
3 receivers split out here. Shotgun look for Scott, up by 25. Throwing it out to Dawson on the right-hand side. Dawson will have 8 yards out to the 39.
The offensive coordinator is already on the phone with his agent at the same time he's calling this game. Back extension this offseason.
And St. Louis potentially on the way to their first victory. All they have to do is continue to ground this clock out and keep things going. Handoff. Dawson again, a first down up to the 42. Prodigy Punk in the chat asking what this is. This is the Simulation Football League that you are watching on Twitch. We are the world's first controllerless esport, with everyone has the opportunity to be on the field as a professional football player. You don't have to control anything. All you have to do is head over to simulationfl.net, join our Discord server where you can become a player and read up about how you can become a player, coach, and potentially, Eddie, one day an owner of a franchise.
No comment.
Owning a football
yes.
team, owning a football team in the Simulation Football League is not the easiest task in the world, but I tell you what, it is one of the most rewarding when you get to work with your players on your team with your brand. Man, it can just be a dream. Hand off to Dawson up the middle again. Will keep the clock moving, but now they'll face a 3rd and 9. Franco Sonati on the tackle, one of the defensive linemen here for the Sharks. Haven't called his name today, but a good tackle there.
Owner for St. Louis has already agreed. He's in the chat saying that man has been hired as a full-time coordinator.
There you go. I tell you what, we're making things happen, Eddie. You're welcome, Cody. We did that. Me and Eddie. Johns to throw, and that is a first down. Fire throws a laser, and who else but Badir Rajlani, the best receiving threat that the Gladiators have today.
Now over 100 yards. Once again, he ran a a slant route. He had 2 defenders to clear that zone, which means that offensive line had to give him time to throw, which they did a great job of. First down, St. Louis. They got everything rolling here tonight.
Power formation here. Dawson flanked by Don Billingsley, the Week 11 fullback signing. Hand off to Dawson, and he will lose a yard there.
Lost a yard, but time is starting to run against this San Francisco Sharks team. St. Louis is smelling upset here today.
2nd and 11, a 25-point spread here with 2:25 left to go in the 3rd. Throwing now for Johns. Johns intercepted down the field, and that might be the break that San Francisco is looking for. The interception made by Camden Hoffman turns the ball over to the Sharks.
It's unfortunate because he had 2 receivers to his right running a hitch route. Both of them were wide open. He got a bit greedy there ball and gave San Francisco an opportunity to get back into this ball game.
Four possessions is the difference. They will throw. McLean flips it out to Gabriel Manning. Manning spins and stays in bounds. What a move by Gabriel Manning to move the change to the 31.
Size and strength, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't settle for going out of bounds there after a 5 or 6 yard gain. What does he do? Puts on the spin move and gets a few extra yards. First down, San Francisco. He hasn't given up.
157 and ticking here to go in the third. And Eddie, they got to move the ball down the field quick. They need possession there. They need scores here. They don't really have time to move the ball slowly. Handoff to Storm, and he is tackled at the 33, and that was not the play you wanted to draw up.
Oh, it's not. I don't necessarily call for a hurry-up offense, but you like to see them get more pace going, get in and out of the huddle a bit quicker there, and perhaps change some momentum here.
This is a 4-possession game no matter what. So, I mean, you could go for 2, 3 times, still be down by a point. Deep bomb here is tipped up and picked off! Picked off by the St. Louis Gladiators. Colin Douglas takes it away. And St. Louis has the ball back at the 47.
I believe it was quarters cover. No, it was. I take that back. It was cover 3 that time. And as you said, he took advantage of the tip ball. First down, St. Louis. A mistake, but we're going to do him a favor and get the ball right back to him. First down, their offense is right back on the field.
2 receivers split out to the top of the formation. Johns in the shotgun with a halfback to the right. Johns to throw here on 1st and 10. Fires deep down the field. That one's caught. Big first down to the 29 from Nick Finch.
I don't know how he came down with that ball. That had interception written all over it. The linebacker saw it the whole way. He was just a split second short getting his head turned around. Or that could have been going right back to San Francisco.
60 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and a new set of downs here for the St. Louis Gladiators, threatening to add to their 25-point lead. The give to Dawson up the middle. Dawson shakes a man. Dawson into the open field out to the 13. One man to beat. Couldn't quite do it, but what a run.
What a run indeed. He saved the touchdown there with that tackle there. That could have been ugly.
And we will step aside for a game break with Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Cam? We will actually stay put for just a second. We're actually going to finish out this St. Louis drive and then go to the game break. 2 in the backfield with Billingsley and Dawson there. They will give to Dawson up the middle. Billingsley actually missed a block there, but Dawson able to get 2 out of it either way, Eddie.
Yeah, you can't play quite a perfect game, but that would have been a great time to get that block, because if he did, that might have been a touchdown.
And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. We're heading to the fourth. 1 quarter to go here at Budweiser Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. The Gladiators in control of this one, trying to finish it out and cross Hollywood Boulevard.
4's up.
Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on Twitch is brought to you in part by Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to secure the bag. By ScoreStream, official live scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, custom esports jerseys and apparel and the exclusive SFL shop provider. And by Spygoat, dedicated to the craft of audio. Aerial shots of downtown St. Louis brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. And off Dawson up the middle. Dawson shut down, and we are back here at Budweiser Stadium. Andy Hamilton along with Eddie Gage in the booth with me here tonight. St. Louis has controlled this one since their opening drive.
He controlled it on both sides of the ball while simultaneously keeping Gabriel Manning in check. Turn game. It's been a total team effort here today.
3rd and 6. Bunch formation, Johns to throw. Johns floats, hit as he threw, but was able to get rid of it, and that'll be incomplete.
It's probably better off that he was hit because there was no one open downfield. Perhaps he was checking it down to his tailback, but good defense there by San Francisco.
4th and 6, and St. Louis will try and make this a full 28-point lead via the foot of Graham Northrup. Northrup on from the 10. This will be about a 27-yard field goal attempt. Kick on the way for the chip shot, and it is good. And St. Louis has increased their lead to a season-high 31 points. It's a 31-3, 28-point lead over the San Francisco Sharks.
31 points score here today. As you mentioned, season high, putting up points. Cody is staring up in the owner's box. You better sign me and make me a full-time offensive coordinator.
So after the field goal for St. Louis, the return from Gabriel Manning will only go out to the 28. And that is where the Sharks offense will take over. They have struggled today. St. Louis has held them in check.
Gabriel Manning showing a bit of frustration down there on the field.
1st and 10 from the Sharks 28-yard line.
So it'll be a 1st and 10. McLean to throw across the middle. Caught by Manning. First down out to the 40.
Manning ran a beautiful arrow route there. I believe it's the first time I've seen him call that play all day. Wide open. First down, San Francisco.
1st and 10.
10 minutes to go here in the 4th. 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 40. This Sharks team is trying to put some points on the board, and, you know, a loss here I don't think puts them out of the playoff race technically, as that one is defended very well, but it does make it quite difficult.
Yes, it does. And he got a hand on it. It's close to adding a pick 6 to his resume.
2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. 9:46 left to go here in this 4th quarter. Time frozen there. McLean to throw. Out route here is bobbled and then almost taken away. St. Louis rallies to the ball, and Peltier tackles him as he drops it.
St. Louis came out once again a 3-2 look, and once again brought a linebacker on a blitz. Something Alaska likes to do out of this front, and they've been having success with it all day.
Oh, man, nearly taken away. This St. Louis defense has been all over the place. They've been hungry, and they have definitely shut this San Francisco team down, which is quite a change from the 43-0 trouncing of the Gladiators we saw last time that these two teams faced each other.
Absolutely.
They have done their homework today. 4 receivers split out for McLean, who's going to throw, wants the deep ball, fires it, tipped up, and nearly taken away again, and it'll bring up 4th and 10, trying to hit York.
San Francisco is going to have to make a decision here. Do they go for it?
I can't say it's going to make a huge impact on this game at 31-3, but it it also would be some good experience heading down the line. San Francisco also has a young team, couple of rookies on this offensive side of the ball, including your quarterback. And so they decide to punt it away, and St. Louis will take over, and now they control their own fate.
San Francisco with 3 rookies on the defensive side of the ball, 2, and 4 on the offensive side of the ball. Team indeed. On pains they're experiencing right now. But as you stated, card spot.
1st and 10 from the 20. 9.5 minutes to go here, and I would expect to see a heavy helping of Diesel Dawson, and they do give it to him on first down, and it is an 8-yard carry on 1st and 10 from Diesel Dawson. He is having a career day, 135 yards.
San Francisco has come out in a 3-3 look, a 3-2 look, and this time a nickel look. It does not matter. Diesel Dawson continues his rushing totals today.
Second and 2 from the 27. They will give to Dawson, and he will get tackled for a loss, but the clock will continue to roll.
Clock is just as an enemy to San Francisco as this scoreboard is today.
We will step aside for a game break after this third down. 3rd and 3, an important third down here in the context of how long St. Louis can continue to roll this clock. Gladiators to throw, floating one deep is Johns, and that one is tipped and incomplete, and we will step aside for a game break with Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Cam, to you.
Thank you, Andy. Well, those teams like San Francisco and many others that are jostling for playoff position, they're in luck today. Denver, all over London, 34-7. And for those at the top of the standings, not so lucky. Nightwings on their way to being the first team to 9 wins. Back to Andy and Eddie in St. Louis.
Thank you, Cam. From the 44, a new set of downs here for San Francisco. The Sharks struggling today, but will try their best to get back into this football game. Down by 28. If all holds, the St. Louis Gladiators will have their first victory.
Yeah, Matt Burnham and Gabriel Manning, whatever plays they have in their playbook to get them open downfield, they need to do it now. Find Manning on the out route there. The good news is they stopped the clock.
2nd and 4 from midfield. 8:21 left to go in the 4th. McLean will take over at midfield here. St. Louis will only rush 3. They'll flip it out to Storm on the outside. Storm has a first down and gets out of bounds at the 43. 8:06 to go.
All this quarters coverage that St. Louis has called today. A play you like to see San Francisco dial up early in the contest.
First and 10 from your Gladiators, 42-yard line.
New set of downs. McLean to throw again. Flips it out to Storm on the outside. Storm with a blocker. Will get the edge and have the first down to the 32.
Like to see him get out of bounds there, but he does manage to get the first down. Back-to-back plays where they dump the ball off to their tailback. Back-to-back first downs for this San Francisco offense.
First and 10.
Shane Masters, 4 sacks today. An incredible day for him. He has been doing quite a bit and really has had Angus McLean on the ropes all day. Another run for Storm, and it looks like San Francisco, Eddie, might be content with just getting out of this game.
Yeah, they are. But as you said earlier, with the number of rookies they have on this team, 5 practice session right here versus opposition rather than going against their own players. And I guess you could say getting the wrinkles out of this offense that has struggled today. Trying to find anything that works consistently.
Storm brought down right away. More Rivers with the speed to get there.
This is why you want defensive linemen running after would-be receivers once the ball is thrown. if the ball is thrown anywhere short, you're taught to turn toward the ball and hustle towards it. Tackle for a loss there, added to his resume.
Throwing again. McLean has a catch out to the 26. Matt Burnham there. Burnham has had an up and down game. He was held in check for a decent portion of the game, then got going a little bit, had one deep catch, but not enough to get this San Francisco offense moving today. Eddie, they really have shut down 2 of the top 5 receivers in the SFL.
It all started with that missed field goal opportunity, which seemed to have rattled this San Francisco team here a bit today. Get from there.
They will try another field goal from similar range. They hit again. This time, their second field goal. It's now 31-6.
31-6. They don't get points there, but at least they get a field goal. Boost the confidence of this quarterback somewhat.
Well, and I think they'll kick this deep, Eddie, and I'm going to say that from the situation that they weren't throwing down the field to try and score a touchdown on that drive. They just happened to kind of run and screen their way into field goal range, and you're not going to turn down points when you have the opportunity, but for the Sharks, it looks like they're not really in attack mode as much as, let's get some experience and then get out of here.
Take what the defense gives you. Don't try to force anything. You got a young quarterback over there. Gives you. Keep the chains moving. You don't need the spectacular play every play. Take what the defense gives you and try to move the chains.
4 receivers split out here, bump formation. Johns will throw, standing in the pocket, pressure coming. Johns evades the pressure, now is going to heave one down the field, tipped up and nearly picked off. Quadruple coverage, and that was a dangerous throw.
It was. He's sitting there staring down the receiver, telling everyone on the defense where he's going. He's lucky that's not intercepted. Had he looked to his right at the snap of the ball, his receiver actually beat his man off the line of scrimmage there. That would have been where you'd like to see him go. Unfortunately for him, the ex-receiver was the first read. He never saw it.
Up the middle, they give to Dawson again. He will pick up 1 and just start this clock rolling.
Yeah, you just begin to wonder at what point does St. Louis begin to bring their starters off the field to avoid injury.
Now to throw. Johns outside, caught and incomplete, out of bounds to Ajlani, and that is going to stop the clock, Eddie. And now some clock management issues from St. Louis. It's a 4-possession game for San Francisco, and so they're not necessarily going to get back into it. But imagine if this was only a 1-possession game.
Exactly. You want to keep that clock moving as much as you can. But even worse, he had 2 receivers on the inside who are both wide open in the middle of the field. He missed both of them, and now they're punting.
Well, and why are you throwing at this late stage of the game? You're up by so much. The clock is the only thing that's going to, keep San Francisco able to try and get back into it. Why would you not just run the ball?
That's why we are up here, and Cody and the rest of those coordinators are down there.
I guess. 4:53 to go in the third, and San Francisco has the ball back now. McLean, empty formation, has dumped Storm out of the backfield, and it looks like it will be a passing situation for the Sharks. McLean to throw. The rookie completes the pass across the middle. L.J. Smith is across midfield to the St. Louis 49, and the hurry-up will start moving.
Yeah, I like to see this tempo early in this game.
McLean, deep throw, deep catch by Gabriel Manning to the 25.
Was covered, but he outjumped his defender.
4 receivers split out. McLean to throw again. An all slants play is incomplete. Was trying to hit L.J. Smith. Freeman Peltier was there.
I believe that's the 3rd pat down pass defense that he has of this game.
2nd and 10 now for the Sharks from the 25. They haven't taken much time off the clock in this drive, Eddie. It's been about 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, they hit Manning on an out. Manning again, a deep corner. Pretty quickly here.
McLean to throw, fires across the middle, picked off. Was trying to force it to Manning again, and the St. Louis Gladiators take it away. Another interception for this defense. That one by Hootie Haskins.
He had a play early in this game with a pass deflection. This time he managed to hold on to it, gets the pick, and as a defense, you love it. We can keep a team out of the end zone. They're trying to do it here today with 4 minutes and change left.
Now a heavy formation with Dawson in the backfield along with Billingsley. They'll give to Dawson up the middle, and Dawson will pick up 4, and that's a little bit more like it. I was getting a little nervous there, Eddie, with how little time San Francisco was taking to move down the field. If they had gotten in the end zone prior to about 4 minutes to go, with the way that St. Louis had been throwing the ball, you never know what could happen.
Yes, and once again, Billingsley made a great block downfield.
Same formation again, one receiver to the top for the Gladiators. They will give to Dawson again up the middle, and Diesel Dawson is able to pick up the first down to the 22. Strong run from Diesel Dawson, moves the chains and keeps this clock rolling.
Offensive line are going to get game balls today, but you know who else is going to get one? Once again, Billingsley is out there making a statement. We've only seen him miss one block today, the one you mentioned earlier. Still a game today.
Don Billingsley went from couch to field, signed with the St. Louis Gladiators just this week. And any of you who are new to the league and watching have the opportunity for one more week to sign to an SFL franchise, become a player, make an impact this season. But no matter when you join the SFL, you can start gaining draft value for next season's SFL rookie draft. Eddie, it's going to be a big one. Lots of potential players and lots of huge names going into it since, we have had quite a few rookies step forward here in the last 5 to 7 weeks. And Eddie, I'm excited as an owner because I think there's going to be a lot of good players in this draft.
I echo that statement. Last year's draft was huge. It's going to be even better. With all the new rookies we have here, all the pending free agents, happen in this offseason, it's going to be big, and I can't wait to see it.
Handoff up the middle again. This is not Diesel Dawson. This is actually the backup, Sweet Pete Kissinger.
This is an equal opportunity offense. Diesel's getting a blow. I'm not sure if he's out for the remainder of this game or not, but everyone in St. Louis has a hand on this W today.
That'll be the 2-minute warning. St. Louis in control of this one here at Budweiser Field in St. Louis, Missouri. The home team on top, and there are 120 seconds to go. Eddie Gage along with Andy Hamilton here in the booth. San Francisco finds themselves down by quite a bit. St. Louis in control of this one, just running the clock out. Kissinger up the middle, and that will be 4th down, and San Francisco will take a timeout to get one more possession out of this.
The only thing that's to be decided in this game that remains is can keep San Francisco in this high-powered offense out of the end zone.
Well, the other part of it, Eddie, and this is way down the line, but for the San Francisco Sharks being in the playoff conversation, points for and points against are, I believe, way down the playoff tiebreaker sheet, but I believe they are there. So, you never know what might make a difference. We have had tons of close playoff tiebreakers deciding who gets in and who stays out. And so for this San Francisco team, every drive, every game is important now being in this conversation.
I agree. And the only way to remove any of those doubts and get all the mathematicians and everything out of the equation is to do the job yourself. Go out there and get a W and take it out of their hands. What happened for them today, but there's always next week.
Throwing deep. That one is caught down to the 34. Looks like the backups may be in for St. Louis.
And they came once again on a blitz.
Deep snap, throwing way down the field. Caught again by Burnham to the 14.
Ottoman covers coverage and got inside the corner there. First down.
Low snap, quick throw, caught. First down catch to the 3-yard line. First and goal for the Sharks.
Knocking on the door here. Can they keep them out?
McLean throwing. That one incomplete across the middle. It'll stop the clock with 1:08 to go here in the fourth, trying to hit Tom York.
He had more time than he thought. They came with a blitz, but he had like another split second or so to wait for him to clear that zone. St. Louis defense is hoping to keep them out of the end zone.
Minute and 8 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Second and goal on the St. Louis 3. San Francisco trying to get into the end zone for the first time today. McLean is in the shotgun, dropping to throw. McLean floats back of the end zone, wide open, caught for the San Francisco touchdown, L.J. Smith. And the Sharks find themselves with points on the board.
St. Louis comes out in goal line and man coverage, and I'm not sure what the backer was doing over there. He basically allowed him to rush right past him, didn't get a bump on him, didn't do anything. You would think he's going to either bump him for the safety behind him or run with him. He did neither. He got a clean break. No safety held behind him. Touchdown, San Francisco.
And they will come on to try and add the extra point. Sharks trying to make it 13-31. Snap back kick on the way and good. And Eddie, my guess is they'll line up for this onside kick now that they've got a few more points on the board.
Onside kick upcoming. St. Louis looking to put the nail in the coffin by recovering it. Here, the fans are in the stands buzzing to hit 0.
Potential first victory for St. Louis this season. Onside kick coming to this near side. Bobbled by St. Louis, but then caught. It was a dangerous one, actually in and out of the hands of one of the hands team for the Gladiators, and they ended up with it anyways.
The fans are going bananas in the stands. They sense this W upcoming. There's going to be a party in St. Louis tonight. Everyone is invited. Great day, a great win. As in the victory formation, it's all but over. Cody is over there celebrating. He's being showered with Gatorade right now. They're going to get their first W. He's going to get a game ball along with his offensive line and that fullback Billingsley. And how about the poise of Noah Johns today? His offensive line gave him all the time he needed. St. Louis.
First career win for Noah Johns, for Diesel Dawson, for Don Billingsley. First career win as well for Kevin Flynn, Reed Mitchell, and the #1 SFL pick in last year's draft, Moore Rivers, along with William McDutch III and J.J. Tiger. Congratulations to them for their first career victories. You always remember your first win, Eddie.
Oh, yes. I remember mine way back when in season 3 with Baltimore, and it's an awesome feeling. All that work you put in training camp, all that work you put in throughout the season, all that work in practice, and to finally come away with a W, it's got to be an awesome feeling for this St. Louis franchise.
And it has the opportunity to build for St. Louis. They will have 2 games following this game, or 2 games following this one. They will improve their record to 1-9 and have the opportunity, Eddie, to continue to win this season, but then lead that into next season as well.
Yes. I can tell you right now, on their schedule upcoming, I'm going to be looking at this newfound offense, trying to find ways, looking for things to exploit, as they have put a new wrinkle here today. Trying to figure out how they can help contain it.
And they have a tough matchup next week. They will play the London Knights, who currently are 11th in the playoff standings. So a big opportunity for St. Louis to also give another playoff team, a potential playoff team, a loss, so the Gladiators can play spoiler down the road here.
St. Louis is saying to themselves, we may not be getting in, but neither are you.
McLean throwing here outside to Manning, will get out to the 24. And for San Francisco, like I said, 4-7 does not necessarily drop them out of the playoffs via our calculations right this second, but it does make it quite a bit harder, and they're going to need some help.
Yes, it does. And speaking of which, Gabriel Manning has 10 catches on 12 targets. That has got to be the quietest 10 catches of his career.
Wow, Eddie. I don't know if you saw Dwayne Schindler in the chat says they're so excited about the win as a nice catch is made there out to the 38, and that by Matt Burnham will be the last play of the game. Dwayne Schindler says that he's so excited about the win, there's 10-cent beer for the next 15 minutes. So I'm going to let you take this outro, and I'm going to head down to the concession stand.
If you aren't driving, go ahead and partake. Otherwise, be careful out there, everyone.
The first career victory for quite a few St. Louis Gladiators, their first win of the season here at Budweiser Stadium tonight, a 31-13 victory over the San Francisco Sharks. Eddie, I think the ground game's the biggest difference there.
Absolutely. They won a time possession battle. They won the turnover battle. The offensive line dominated San Francisco here tonight. The defensive line was relentless with Shane Masters all night. He comes away with 4 sacks in this game. He's just been the face of the quarterback all day long today. St. Louis played a perfect game, as I stated earlier, both offensively, defensively, while also containing Gabriel Manning in a return game. A total team effort. Noah John's confidence has got to be through the roof right now, working with his new offensive coordinator, Cody, over there. Things are coming for St. Louis. Can they keep this up? I'm interested to see in what they do next week versus London and their offensive player of the year candidate.
So a big win for St. Louis improves them to 1-9. Sharks fall to 4-7. Eddie, your player of the game if you had to pick one.
So many candidates. Me, as a defensive player, I'd like to see Billingsley, the fullback, get it. So it's probably going to be either Noah Johns or the running back, Diesel Dawson. I go on a stretch here. I'm going to say Noah Johns, player of the game. What do you think?
I was going to say, I think Johns wins it just via his arm and the ability to kind of command this offense here early in this game. But I think if you could give it to a unit, your defense would be the one that you would give it to.
Yeah, the defense or the offensive line for St. Louis for me. But we'll see what they say here today. Either way, a great win for St. Louis.
Noah Johns, the player of the game, 242 yards and 3 touchdowns. That is going to go down not necessarily as his best career game in terms of yardage, but it ties his most in terms of passing touchdowns. San Francisco gets the win over the St. Louis gets the win over the San Francisco Sharks here in Missouri at Budweiser Stadium. For Eddie Gage, Andy Hamilton, along with Cameron Irvine producing the game, we want to thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the future.
Thanks for coming. Good night. Drive home safely.